But yeah, unfortunately, Dame got traded there, and it just never worked out. I do want to touch a little bit on his Achilles, right? Because he obviously something huge. He tore his Achilles in the first round of the playoffs. So we're looking back on in April, and typically the rehab timeline is somewhere between 9 and 12 months. In the NBA, people usually seem to err on the side of a longer period of time. So if you're looking at, having surgery in April, put say 9 months, right? So we get into January, which is that 9-month period. There were some reports that I think I heard from Chris Haynes that, or Mark Spears actually, was reporting that there could be possibility that he is ready by All-Star break, right? So that's probably putting him about 10 months-ish, right? Give or take some weeks and some time to be ready next year. And Mark Spears was talking about possibly going to his hometown, the Golden State Warriors, right? So Dame is free to sign with anybody, which is wild to say, and he hasn't really been a free agent, right? So this is kind of a new territory for him. Yes, he's going to have to rehab a whole bunch of time this year, and from all reports, is saying that he wants to rehab in Portland, where he's close to his family. But what do you think about the possibility of Dame possibly being in Golden State?
Obviously, as Laker fans, that's one of the first things I thought of, right? Lakers. But we'll see. I don't see many ties there, but you never know. But then immediately I thought Miami was the next thought, because he had definitely voiced that he wanted to be there during that time frame where Portland was trying to deal him. And then I thought about, hey, where's he from? That's right. He's from the Bay Area. And I think the Warriors would be someone that would want him, right? Kind of, I don't know. It depends. Like, would he take a back seat? Would he come off the bench? Those kind of things, right? Or would he start beside Steph? But I could see him entertaining that. And then I think we've seen like a Golden State. They picked up Chris Paul, for example. We've seen it with them for some time now. And I think it all just depends, right? Like, I don't know. Like, if he comes back around All-Star break, so that's February, it's definitely going to have to be in a role where it's complimentary. Nothing that, you would expect him to be the Dame of old. And so, yeah, Golden State might be a place where, if they can get 15, 20 minutes out of him and he can, be instant offense, maybe off the bench, then, yeah, I could see him go there. I could see Miami. If it's Miami, I don't know if he would play this year. I feel like they're very much in like kind of rebuild mode. Like, when he wanted to go there, they had Jimmy Butler. It was a different Miami team. They had just come off playing the finals against the Nuggets. And it was kind of like, whoa, we need to get someone to take that next step, right? And so things have changed in Miami. So I don't know if that would be the team. But Warriors are definitely one to look at. What were you kind of thinking as you think of the teams in the NBA maybe wanting his services?
Yeah, I mean, the Warriors make a lot of sense because he could rehab and not really feel the pressure of trying to come back too early. And if he were to come back by, say, All-Star break, February-ish, he can come back in more of the complimentary role, right? He doesn't have to come back into that starting takeover, get 25 to 27 points per game. He could literally come off the bench, I think would be fine, and then prep for the next season where he can start, and it'd probably be Steph and him in the backcourt, along with Jimmy and Draymond and whoever else is there at the time. Because they start two small guards right now with Przinski, right? They start Pods at the two. So I'm not really too concerned with kind of that matchup. And hell, if you have two guys that are shooting from 30 feet every second on both corners, I mean, you had the Splash Brothers there. This is going to have to be a new name with the 2-point guards like that. So I think it could potentially be a great fit for Dame. Looking at any other teams, yes, there's some contending teams I think he would obviously be a fit for. But I see that as a team where he doesn't have to feel rushed. So I kind of like the scenario.
Yeah. I mean, the thought of him kind of slowly coming back and maybe taking a back seat next year, and then the following year having more of a kind of solidified spot on the roster. I mean, of course, when I think of Golden State, and we're thinking 2 years away now, I'm thinking Draymond 2 years from now. I'm thinking Jimmy Butler. I mean, they're gonna get. It's. I don't think it's gonna end well, but it'll be probably exciting to watch. You
Yeah.
know.
What do we got?
That's the
Steph
thing.
37, Jimmy 35, Draymond 35, and Dame would be 35, right? So they would all be aging at the same time. Obviously, Steph doesn't play like a 37-year-old.
No.
However, the longevity into the season and then going into the playoffs, as we even seen with Steph, he's not immortal, right? He had a hamstring injury in the playoffs, and which literally, in my opinion, and what I said before, I thought the Warriors had a chance to get to the finals if they would have got past Minnesota. I thought they were just a much better matchup for OKC versus Minnesota was. So they would be an old team, but if they still would have the mix of young guys on there, because you got to remember, Dame would be cheap. He doesn't need the money. Even Mark Spears says he does not need the money. So he can sign for more of the like minimum type of contracts or whatever, 4 million, 6 million, whatever that type of thing is. So
yeah, and if you sign him, a team takes a flyer, and he is really just not anywhere near what we're used to seeing. It's a no harm, no foul, right? You just move on, and so as long as Lillard wants to continue to play, which it sounds like he does, it's obviously a big injury for somebody in their mid-30s. We've talked about that, but I think it's definitely, like I said, from like a Lakers perspective, you cannot think of it as like, oh, Luka and Dame, like he's going to be that like that number two, and he's going to be no. I mean, he's going to have to be in a position where he's like a 3 or 4, but a very good 3 or 4, obviously. And he could just focus on scoring. You're not going to play defense and all that stuff. You better have some other defenders out there. But yeah, I'll be looking out for if a team is going to sign him this season, and then where, obviously, and kind of how he's doing with his rehab. Maybe around Christmas time, we'll see how he's doing.
Yep, that's for sure. All right, we got a comment here from Osmosis Jones, AARP. Yeah, that would be in reference to the Golden State Warriors as they are right now. And if they were to add Damian, they would pretty much be in that boat. All right.
The rocking chair is out.